Hi, Fred. Hi, Fred. Jiminy Christmas. Do birds get fleas?
Fleas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if he's got fleas. Wow. Can't get close enough to him to tell, though. Because he's in protection mode with Nyla since she's sitting on a nest. Fred, you're so pretty. He's losing all of his tail feathers. But he's still got a lot of them in there, but he's lost a lot. What a proud bird. Somebody posted on Facebook that they had an aggressive male, and if nobody would take it, then they were going to have to. And I said, depending on where you're at, we could take him. We know how to deal. It's mating season. They are going to be aggressive. As you said, it was attacking them and their grandchildren. It's like, well, you guys just need to stay away from him. Because you got a female that's got a nest somewhere. And he's protecting them. But anyways, if she doesn't want it, we will take him. And he will not become dinner. Because they're too dang pretty. In other news, guess whose birthday it is? I would say the birthday boy, but damn, he's 69 years old today. Not bad for Old Man River. What's that look for? What did Adam Sandler say in that movie? Old Man River, zip the lip or I'll break your hip. You can now say, when I was a kid, and it doesn't sound stupid. Back in my day. Poor Bob. Yes, today is his birthday. And he is 69 years old. Next year, I'm married to a senior citizen. Oh, damn. And then we got this goober right here, Charlie, who just took off after a squirrel, I guess. It could have been a squirrel that ate those plants, too.
Chipmunk.
I don't think a chipmunk would do that.
No, I see one in the pen every now and then, helping himself. Chickens just stand there going, okay.
Charlie's going to go lay over there. A chipmunk goes in with the chickens?
Yeah.
Yikes.
He's not afraid of them, they're not afraid of him.
Anyhow, crazy chickens. Stick tomatoes there. Ambrosia orange UBX. Kale's doing pretty decent. More decent than any other time I've ever grown kale. I've never had it look that good. Have I? No, I haven't. All the bush beans are popping up. They're popping up in there in those stack planters. That squash right there in the blue pot is a Pattison Panache Juan Etvert Scallop. Say that 5 times real quick. Egyptian walking onions. They look like hammered hell right now. But the thing with those is that I see where you put the little ones down right there. They're already starting to sprout. Do you want it? What are those different ones? Where'd you put them down at?
Up in the front.
Show me. Go point it out. Because something's sprouting right there. Oh, well, see the other one that's like leaning over? That one right there?
The one that I already...
You didn't put it down. You know how to hold that down and keep it down? Is get one of those staples. Anyhow, the Mongolian giant sunflower. I've never grown a sunflower. Ask Bob, have you grown a sunflower? He's never done it either. So I'm thinking that's looking pretty decent. We got the radishes, they're flowering out. Those are the white flowers. And soon those will create seed pods. Sorry about that, gotta switch hands. And I thought it was a bust on the Swiss chard, but it actually started growing, which is great. We harvested some yesterday. And that's in my bag of salad greens. So I did lose my four of my, actually no, it was 3 of my tomatoes from the My Ukraine series. So we lost,
Sunset.
no, that's not part of it.
Okay.
We lost Lake Swityaz. We lost Carpathian Fire, I believe. And is that first one, is that what is that? Could you look at those first 2 tags and tell me what those are, please? I'm sorry. I know, I think one of them is Carpathian Fire. And maybe the other one is Carpathian Pearls. Okay, which Carpathian Pearls, I have another one over on the other side, so I still... No, Dnieper Sunset and Lake Svit. What?
River one.
River? Yeah, it's Dnieper River. It's the, yeah, I know what he means. It's Dnieper Sunset. Dnieper River is the main river that flows through Ukraine. And then Lake Svityaz. Those are the 4 that got eaten. But I still have a Carpathian Pearls. So I'm only missing 2. So I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to regrow the entire series next year, but I'm going to put it back there in our grow tunnel. That way this won't happen again, because there's nothing going to get into that grow tunnel. Somebody's burning around here.
It's legal.
I didn't say it wasn't, I just happened to smell it. Sometimes it messes with my breathing and sometimes it doesn't. I'm hoping today it doesn't. And then... Yep, it does. And then that right there is probably one of the best looking squash plants we've ever had. And that is a Zucchino rampicante. And I'm hoping it starts going up, that trellis. That's what I want. And then that trellis after this year, we are going to use it on... our clematis bush, because we need to repot that with some decent soil. And then over there where the 2 trellises are, that's cucumbers, and then there's some dill in there. And Bob is going to put that a little bit later, show me what that looks like, because I can't get over there and walk over there. And then let's see, over here is a little flower garden. Some of it's transplanted, some of it's seeded in. Looks like it needs to be watered really bad. And then up there on the log, that was hollowed out. Bob planted an nasturtium up in there. And and then I was glad to get that turned away from me so you guys didn't have to see my mug. And the oh my gosh, Macaw, was that fingerling potatoes. I mean, he didn't fill the bin up as far up with straw as we normally do. And they're doing fantastic in there. So I'm really pleased with how that's working. Harvested some rhubarb yesterday. That still needs to be weeded out. And we got some boysenberries turning red. See that? So those are going to ripen up pretty quick. Still got red romaine up there on the deck. And then pumpkin patch roses. And then currants have got a rust going on, so I've got some rust spray in some Amazon cart, and I can see it looks like rice is coming up out of the buckets in the greenhouse. Did you check those for water?
What?
The rice buckets?
Yes.
Okay. So those are coming up. Got 2 buckets. Corn is coming up in the back grow tunnel. So we got pole beans back there. We've got our excess tomatoes, and then we got a big tub of dwarf corn. And it's all blocked off, so nothing should be able to get in there to get it. And then we have wild oregano all over the friggin' place. And then these pansies were transplanted out, and they're just doing fantastic there. They're so pretty. And then we have more of them. Whoops. Get to the right spot right there. And then in the bucket here, I've got orchid flame nasturtiums. Those are really pretty. And then these, I believe, are phoenix. I planted out, I don't even know how many different types of nasturtiums. And they are all over. We put them with everything. We planted nasturtiums with everything. What was that? I bet it was a fir cone dropping down and hitting something in the back of the truck. Yeah, we don't have the fir cones like we had last year. There's still a bunch up there, though. Last year, though, this time they were just, these trees were so loaded with cones. It was crazy. I love all the textures of green around here. And we have birds up in that big tree building a nest. I know, I've seen them. They're still in the straw. And then our game camera right there. There's Fred again. Hi, Fred. That bird is so pretty. You know I'm talking about you, huh, Fred? Yes, they do. They're just being stupid. Let Georgie out. Finally, they come out.
Hey. There's Goose.
What's wrong with them?
Whoa.
Them guys.
Girls are on the nest.
Well, I know, but these guys were being weird.
They're still part of the protection group.
Bob, the goose whisperer. Are you coming out? You dogs, quit eating goose poop. It's gross. I didn't think I was going to get any garlic scapes, and then they started producing them. So that was cool. Yeah, we had a bunch of turkey vultures fly overhead, and the geese were not even cool with that, so they wanted back in. And they all ran into the same pen, and it was like, ooh. But the African guys came back out pretty easy. And then Bob got hissed at by Amy Farrah Fowler. And then she got all discombobulated, couldn't figure out where to go. So we had to get the Africans back into their pen and then open up the gate on her pen again. And then she ran back in there. And that ends that. But all I know is they are not cool with them big birds flying overhead. They did not like that. Not one bit. That's why Bob says he leaves the gates open. Well, at least one of the gates open. So that if that happens, they can run back in where they feel safe. And that's a good idea. Charlie, come on. He's down there watching something. Do not chase snakes. Bob went over here yesterday behind the greenhouse and he picked a big handful of oregano because we have it growing everywhere. And he said he must have saw 10 snakes over there. Oh, God. Now, mind you, we are in western Washington state, so we do not have venomous snakes. And I do not even care because I think they're all miserable and I don't want to see them. I have an irrational fear of them. I would, however, like to see that bird nest up there and find out exactly where it's at. That would be cool. I don't know what these little purple flowers are. Where'd they go? There they are. Just a little wildflower that we have growing up here, and I don't know what they are. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments below, would you? love looking at this every day. Especially down there because it looks so mysterious in the pasture. Actually, it's corral. I've only been in there like a couple of times. And now my body won't let me walk in there and it pisses me off. Our blackberry patch. Compost.